This video was shot by Japanese tuna fishermen themselves. Maybe you have as many questions as I do. They just need to throw the fishing rod with the fish into the fish bin, and then they can immediately cast the rod and catch the next fish. Why don't they need to remove the fishhook manually? And another question, why not use a more large-scale method of fishing with nets? Today, I'm going to explain it all. This exciting fishing method is called ippenzuri in Japan. It's a traditional way of fishing where a single person on a small boat uses just one fishing line and one hook to catch tuna. It's been passed down through generations in Japan. First, they need to catch some bait fish, usually sardines, and keep them in the boat's hold. Then, the captain uses the behavior of the tuna chasing schools of fish, often surrounded by seabirds, to locate the general area of the tuna. Once the boat reaches where the birds are gathering, the fishing begins. Step 1. Throw out the bait. The crew scatters a small amount of sardines into the water to attract the tuna and bring them close to the boat. Step 2. Splash the water. They also pump a large amount of seawater and spray it onto the surface to make it look like the water is boiling with a school of sardines. This creates the illusion of a feeding frenzy, exciting the tuna and making them rush over to compete for food. Step 3. Start fishing. Once the tuna gather around, the fishermen quickly cast their hooks into the water. In their feeding frenzy, the tuna can't tell the difference between the hook and the sardines. When one bites the hook, the fisherman yanks the rod back, using the momentum to fling the fish onto the deck. The fish is then sent by a conveyor belt to the boat's cold storage for processing. Now, here's the key. Why don't they need to remove the hook by hand? They use a special L-shaped hook, not the common U-shaped one we're used to. Plus, the bait is heavy, and the L-shaped hook doesn't have a bar. So, when the tuna is pulled up and reaches the highest point, it slides off the hook due to inertia and drops onto the deck. This lets the fisherman immediately cast for the next fish. Since tuna only gather for about 10 minutes, the fishermen work at full speed, giving it everything they've got to haul in as many as they can. This is the intense scene you're seeing now. It's like turning the ocean into a giant cash machine. Now, for the second question, with all our advanced technology, why do they still use this physically demanding method like ippenzuri instead of drag nets or other modern methods? The reason has to do with the way tuna breathe. Tuna need constant water flow over their gills to get oxygen. If they're caught with drag nets, they can't swim and quickly suffocate. Plus, the stress they go through during net fishing affects their quality, making their skin dull and the meat less fresh and tender. The big advantage of ippenzuri is that the tuna are processed and frozen within minutes after being caught, preserving their bright skin and high-quality meat. Also, this method targets specific fish, making it more sustainable for ocean resources. Of course, there's a downside: it's really hard on the back. If your back isn't strong, you won't last long doing this job. So, how long do you think your back could handle this kind of work? If you think you're tough enough, let us know in the comments. That's it for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, follow, and share. See you next time.